In this video, we're gonna see one of the best deals of Pawn Stars ever made, so stay tuned and watch full episode.
I have a book signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Absolutely incredible. When you talked about old baseball, Joe Jackson and Babe Ruth.
A man brought a book to pawn shop which is signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Say it ain't so, Joe. You're certified.
Right.
Well, he was illiterate. His wife signed everything for him. All the signed copies of this book, most of them, everyone you see will have this in it.
So this could really be an amazing signature.
You will not find a rare autograph.
It seems to be a collaboration.
Yeah, the story is that him and 7 other guys on the 1919 Chicago White Sox took money to fix the World Series. Destroyed his baseball career, his reputation for the rest of his life.
Right.
Rick shares more valuable information about it. Then he asks for an offer.
Joe Jackson's signature is so rare and so expensive, I just have to take the gamble before this guy walks out the door with it. So how much did you want to get out of it?
Quick search on his signature and found that there's not many of them. $30,000 for the book.
Not going to happen.
What is going to happen?
Closer to 10 grand. Of all the sports signatures in the world, this is the one most faked. So, I'll take a shot at 10 grand.
Bring something to the table.
I'll go $13,000. I won't go a penny more. So,
well,
it's a big risk nowadays with stuff like that.
Okay, let's do it.
I'll meet you right up front. We'll do some paperwork.
Okay.
Finally, Rick closed the deal on $13,000. Then Rick goes to an expert to check its authenticity.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
One of the craziest things you brought. So what I have here is one of the only Joe Jackson signatures. This one looks like a pretty normal A. The K, he tries to do the loop. I'm not convinced that it's real.
It's not real.
Well, no, I'm going to send it off some more people. I'm going to try and get a consensus.
A thorough examination that prevented us from certifying the autograph, signed over the original.
That was really unfortunate for Rick. Everyone laughs on him. Let's move to next deal.
We have notes from the Republic and the government of Texas.
All right, that is pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. Most people in Texas believe they live in a separate country already, and it'd be really cool to have their own money, too.
Rick asks expert to share more details about it.
So, tell me what you know about the bills.
The notes were produced between 1838 and 1840. Finest set of notes known to exist. All the notes have been authenticated and graded, so there's no question as to their authenticity or the quality.
Rick asks owner for an offer.
Okay, and how much did you want for them?
The 9 notes of the Republic of Texas, approximately $25,000, and then for the government of Texas note, $650,000.
After hearing the shocking price, Rick prefers to bring his expert for better advice.
This is quite a bill, this government of Texas $10. That's not even in the ballpark. That's over the moon, over the planets, over the stars.
Rick asks expert to evaluate its worth.
In my opinion, the $10 Sam Houston note would retail for $5,000 to $7,000, and on a great day at a great auction, $10,000.
Expert estimates its worth, but owner looks not happy with expert evaluation.
I paid more than that. I've looked up the auction records to know where they trade. This note, of course, has never been seen before.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's worth a fortune of money.
After some heated movements, expert leaves and the negotiations started.
I appreciate you bringing in an expert, but obviously this is so rare, he just doesn't normally deal with it. And if I could buy notes at his price as retail, I'd probably buy him out.
Obviously, a deal's not going to be made here today. Just a difference of opinion. It happens all the time.
Absolutely.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
And unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
We have here.
An ugly piece of artwork.
So it's done by M.L. Snowden.
Got it from a former in-law.
Sounds like you're a little bit bitter. It's different. I sort of like it. She's been doing this ever since she was a little kid. Her father was a pretty famous sculptor. Some people like a little more traditional. She is a really famous artist. Even though I'm not familiar with, I've seen a lot of Snowdens before and a lot of money.
Rick knows that its worth could be priceless, so he asked for an offer.
How much were you looking to get out of it?
$50,000.
People love this stuff. I'll give you 20 grand.
Deal. I'll take it.
Whoa, 20 grand.
All right.
I just massively overpaid for this.
I seriously thought I'd walk out of here disappointed. I'm very happy with the 20 grand.
After purchasing the item, Rick shows it to Chum and Corey, but they looks not interested in it.
Let me get this thing off the dolly.
What is that thing?
A statue, obviously.
What in the hell is this?
It's an M.L. Snowden.
What'd you pay for it?
$20,000.
Why?
No one's gonna buy this.
Your dad just bought it.
Have fun with that. I'm out. No.
Dude, I don't want to touch
Just pick it up, grabbing its legs.
Rick calls an expert to estimate its worth.
Wow. Photon from the Elements of Light series.
I paid a lot of money for it.
This is investment quality art. I would put this one probably at about $36,000. It's only gonna go up.
$36,000? Corey, Chum.
You want to buy it, Chad?
No comprende.
We still have to sell it.
It'll sell.
I would not put that in any interior. Horrible.
They'll never get it.
Expert estimates it's worth around $36,000. It is way more than Rick think. Everyone got shocked after hearing this. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a woman walks to pawn shop with hand-engraved ivory tusk. Let's see it's real or fake.
An ivory tusk.
Okay.
Hand carved. I want to pawn it 7 to 10 days. And some money between now and 4 o'clock. I would hope that I could get somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 for it.
So how'd you get this thing?
I bought it in Taipei. I paid a lot.
Okay.
Rick takes a closer look of the item and found something shocking.
Unfortunately, it's not ivory. This is bone. It's pieced together bone, and it's made for the tourist trade.
I was told it was ivory.
Ivory would be a lot heavier than this. Bone is porous. Ivory is completely solid. It only took like 2 seconds to tell this wasn't ivory. They were in Asia. They went to a market. They were told they were ivory. See the panels, the way they come together like that? Well, if it was real ivory, it would just be one solid piece. Cut up pieces of bone, and they shape it around a piece of wood, and this is what you get. You can see the wood that's underneath it. I'm not really interested in buying ivory anymore. I don't like the process of getting ivory. I don't like the politics of it. I don't like anything about it.
Still, Rick asked for an offer. Let's see how much owner asked for it.
How much were you looking to get out of it?
$1,000 to $1,500.
I would loan you like $100 on this.
Do a little bit better.
It's not real. It's bone, okay?
It's beautiful.
I don't loan on pretty. I loan on what I can sell it for. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was ivory, and years later, now I'm finding out that it's not. Very upset.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a man brings rarest Apache knuckle gun to pawn shop.
A brass knuckle gun?
The gun is actually called the Apache.
My grandfather had it. He passed away. It was sort of a thug's gun. I've seen where the value can reach up to $7,000. I don't want to go below $4,000.
Rick shares more details about it.
Brass knuckles and a gun.
Oh, wow.
The ultimate self-defense weapon. I don't think anyone designed anything quite like this. I mean, it's only a .28 caliber, but that was an effective round, especially at close quarters. You know, you go to punch a guy like that, and when you're swinging like that, you also have a knife sticking out the end of it. This gun has a lot going for it.
Rick asks owner for an offer.
$7,000.
No. I would go $2,000 for it because I think it would sell real quick.
No, they're very unique. The least expensive that I would let it go for would be about $45,000.
We're too far apart. Best I'm going to go is $22,000.
For that price, I will keep it in the family.
Rick offers only $2,200, but owner refuses to take it, so no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
Sell this gold coin if I could.
A Spanish stamp here. So where did you get this?
From my grandfather. He left a safe full of contents.
Any other cool things in the safe?
Not really, no. Not to my knowledge. And I don't really have any use for it. I'm going to see what they can do for me here.
Rick shares more details about the coin.
Coins back then were weird. The right amount of gold, the right weight, and the right purity. It's almost too good to be true. It's in exceptional condition. What are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get $2,000.
But this is easily counterfeited. There's a lot of fakes out there. Buddy who knows everything there is know about these. I'm coming in. See what we can do.
Sounds great.
Rick calls an expert to check its authenticity. Let's see what happened next.
I know you're concerned it'd be counterfeit, and there are a lot of counterfeit pieces going around. I'd say it's absolutely genuine.
Okay. So what do you think this is worth?
There's $18,000 on it.
Okay.
It's like finding treasure.
Absolutely.
Expert estimates it's worth around $18,000. Then the negotiations started.
What do you want for it?
Sounds like $18,000 to me.
10.5.
I wouldn't take anything less than $11,000.
$11,000.
$11,000. Get a deal. Thank you. No idea. I feel very happy with it.
And finally, the deal ends on $11,000. That was a good deal. Let's move to next deal.
What do we got here?
Led Zeppelin 1 signed by the full band. Jimmy Page signed the front, John Bonham, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones.
This man showed his rare collection of Led Zeppelin to Rick, and Rick also know how rare this item is.
That's pretty amazing. I've never seen, Led Zeppelin sign an entire album.
Jimmy, being the leader of the band, refused to sign them back.
Rick also shares some information about the Led Zeppelin and also asks for an offer.
Led Zeppelin is one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. I probably won't want to put it in the store. I want to bring it home. The big question is, how much do you want for this?
$22,000. You're not going to find something like this.
So, have you ever had the signatures checked out?
Yes.
Owner wants $22,000 for it, so without any hesitation, Rick calls an expert to evaluate its worth.
This is it. This is what I called you about.
John Bonham died in 1980. Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page, they're not really that accessible. Oxidized, it's a little older. And you take a look right here. You could tell, nice aged ink. The Robert Plant signature is something I take a look at all the time. He would just flow through the signature. He had this big R, and then the rest would just become all a big flow. Based on everything I've seen, absolutely no doubt this is the real deal.
Sweet.
Expert confirms that this item is authentic. Then Rick asks expert to evaluate its worth.
And what do you think it's worth?
Right at about $10,000 to $12,000.
I would give you $8,000 for it.
Sorry, my best price would be $17,500.
Okay, well, if you change your mind, come back. The offer's open.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
Original blueprints to the USS Maine, 1887 to 1889, before the ship was sunk. I've researched for over 10 years. They're the only ones that I know of that exist. I'd like to sell them because I could use the money.
Rick takes a closer look at the item and asks some questions to owner about it.
This right here appears to be boilers. Yeah. These, I imagine, would be piston-driven steam engines.
Yes.
This is the gun. This is the turret it's on. And they would rotate on this right here. Mm-hmm. This is the back of the ship. This is basically the way things were stored. That is neat.
Rick asks owner for an offer.
So how much do you want for them?
I want $9,000 for this one. I want $6,000 for that one, and I want $10,000 for this one.
Rick calls an expert for better advice.
I don't see a lot of value here. Tops, if you really want to put something classic looking, up on a wall, framed, $300 or $400 a piece.
Yeah.
Am I close?
Well, no.
I want $25,000 for them.
Yeah, see, it's like totally different planets. They're still not construction documents. I mean, to me, they're one of many copies made, and they were made for something. Maybe they were made for an official purpose, but I still think they're worth $300 or $400.
Expert estimates its worth way less than everyone expected.
If there was a lot of them printed, where are they? It's the only one.
They might be the only ones, but I still don't think they're going to bring that kind of money. Thanks for coming in, though.
All right.
As expected, no deal was made. A man brings rarest Hot Wheels appraisal to pawn shop.
What do you got there?
Prepare to be amazed. The rarest Hot Wheel in the world.
Is that what I think it is?
The pink 1969 rear load beach.
Rick takes the closure look of the Hot Wheels box and asks some questions to owner about it.
Holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it?
It's in mint condition. These are the original surfboards.
Yeah, that was a ragtop Volkswagen Transporter. Technically, it's a transporter.
Owner wants to sell this Hot Wheels for his daughter Weeding.
My daughter's wedding is a little over a year from now. Maybe now's a great time to sell a Hot Wheel and raise some money for the wedding.
It's one of those little tidbits of history, and generally you see in some guy's personal little museum.
Rick also shares that when and how this car becomes so popular.
Hot Wheels came out in '68, and they got Mustang, Camaros. Every single kid in my neighborhood, we all had our Hot Wheels. All right, do you know anything about it?
They actually stopped making this variety. This was never for sale to the public. That's why it's so valuable.
I'm assuming if you have the Holy Grail, you have a lot more Hot Wheels.
About 6,000 Hot Wheels.
The fact that only a few of these were produced makes it incredibly rare. No idea what this is worth, but I know it's not going to be cheap. What do you want for it?
$150,000.
Let me call a friend. Pretty big dealer in toys.
Rick calls an expert for better advice.
Hey, what's up, Rick? You supposedly know this guy?
Hey, what's up, Bruce? How you doing? How are you?
All right, so this is legit.
Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Go ahead.
So what are you looking for?
This is a different base, early production ones. So this is definitely the prototype. Some of these two are just raw. Everything looks 100% correct.
Rick asks expert to estimate its worth.
So what do you think it's worth?
Easily $100,000 for this car.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'm thinking 60?
Nah.
I'll go 65 grand.
No, I'll go down to 140.
I mean, I go as high as 70.
Nah, it's just not going to do it. I guess today's not the day.
Well, thanks for coming in, man.
Okay. Thank you.
And unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, Rick tells Chum and Corey to go on a mission, and the mission is to buy a 1970s 650 Tiger Triumph for Rick. Let's see what happened next.
You guys are driving up to Carson City. I'm giving you guys a break when I shouldn't be. So there's a guy up there with a 1970 650 Tiger Triumph.
Oh, sweet. The only reason he likes Triumphs is because I like Harleys.
No, I liked Triumphs before you were born. Go to Carson City. If it runs good, just buy it for me.
Chum and Corey arrived at a warehouse and started inspecting the bike closely.
This is a 1970 Triumph. I believe it was in the 70s. I've never liked Triumphs, but this is kind of tickling me a little bit. I think you're right, which is basically what made a lot of customers switch to Hondas.
The owner shows Chum and Corey his bike collection and also shares more details about it.
This is what we call our Paco Racetrack. It's a 5-speed with a chain drive because it's 125 inches, about 140 horsepower. It's as fast as it looks, too. So what are you looking for on the Triumph? I'd like to get $10,000 for it. What do you want for the trike? I think it's worth every penny of $40,000. Well, I guess we got to ride them. I'm kind of scared of this thing, honestly.
After hearing the price, Corey and Chum takes a test drive.
Yeah! The bikes both run great, and I know my dad really wants to Triumph.
Corey knows that Rick loves Triumph bikes, so the negotiations started.
I'd like to get $10,000 and go to 7. 75. You got to remember, I buy these to make money on them, too. I think I'm going to hold at 75. 72. We'll have to pass. Have to pass? Okay. Well, maybe next time, my man. I'll be around. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Corey rejected the deal over just $300. That was shocking. Chum also tried to convince Corey, but he didn't listen anyone.
Corey, over $300, you guys are going to be pissed.
What happened?
Corey wouldn't buy it over $300.
What did I tell you guys to do?
Rick, I told him, buy the bike, your dad's going to be pissed at you.
I didn't tell you to buy it because it was worth it or not. I told you to buy it for me. I wanted the bike for myself.
I was at $7,500 and Corey was stuck at $7,200.
You tattletales, man. Honestly, no, dude, the deal wasn't right.
I should have never sent you guys.
I argued to bring the bike home, Rick. I really did. Your son, Corey, decided not to buy the bike over $300.
Chum explained everything to Rick, but Rick is angry on Corey. Do you think Rick is right? Share your thought in comment box.
What do you have there?
Oh, yeah. My boss is going to love this.
This man brings Shelby Donald Duck bicycle to pawn shop.
I'll tell you what, let's get it out of the parking lot. Come with me. All right. My boss should be out here any minute.
Rick also comes to see the item, and Chum shares more details about the bicycle.
By 1965, he was in over 100 movies or cartoons. I think in 1949, he actually surpassed Mickey as the most popular character.
Rick also shares some information about the Shelby Donald Duck bicycle.
So the reason he surpassed Mickey as being the most popular character is because Mickey Mouse had become such an icon. Basically got the memo, Mickey Mouse can't do anything the least bit controversial, where Donald, on the other hand, could be his grumpy Donald Duck, and that's what people fell in love with him. Because when I was a kid, they started in the 1890s, but in the 20s, the owner had a brilliant idea. He made a bicycle that was modeled after Lindbergh, and it sold like hotcakes, so it started making a lot of different themed bicycles like this.
Rick takes a closer look at the item and found something shocking.
The tank needs to be restored because the colors are all screwed up there. We have to get the rear taillight re-chromed. And Donald Duck's face, I don't know if that's actually cracked or that's paint.
It has a button over here. What does this do? Do you know?
I believe it's for a horn. It says quack horn.
And they still work?
There's a battery pack in there. I guarantee you everything's corroded and needs to be fixed.
Rick asked owner how much you want for it.
How much do you want for it?
I'd like to get $3,000 for it.
This one's in amazing shape, but there are some issues with it. I'll give you $1,500.
I'd do $2,800.
$2,000? $2,000's a fair price.
Can you do $2,400?
$2,250, and I'm crazy at that price. I'm gonna walk at that price. I mean, I really can't go anymore.
Okay, I'll take that.
And finally, the deal ends on $2,250. Then Rick shows this bicycle to Chum, an expert. Let's see their reaction.
Chum,
What's up?
check this out.
Is that the Donald Duck bike?
Donald Duck satisfied?
Well, I got some bad news. It's not a true Donald, it's a clone. Well, if you look underneath, you'll find the serial number. And it says Shelby Co., but also the first two numbers are 53. And that was 1953. Shelby only made this bike in 1949. So it's not a true Donald Duck.
We all make mistakes, Rick. It'll be okay.
That was really unfortunate for Rick. We all makes mistake in life. That was one of the mistake of Rick. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a man brings 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey stick to pawn shop.
A hockey stick signed by the Miracle on Ice Olympic hockey team. I decided to come to the pawn shop today to try to sell my hockey stick signed by the 1980 Miracle on Ice Olympic hockey team. It is a one-of-a-kind, very unique item. I wouldn't take less than $5,000 for it today.
Owner shares more details about it.
My uncle was a bus driver, and one of his charter trips was to pick up the hockey team and drive them to the airport. And so at that time, I got all the players and the assistant coaches. Then in 1994, I was working at a country club, and Herb Brooks, the head coach, came in, asked him if I could get the stick there before I left, if he would sign it, and he did.
There's no question, I want this stick. I know a ton of collectors who would think this thing is absolutely priceless.
Rick calls an expert to check its authenticity. Let's see what expert suggests.
I've got signatures from the 20 players of the 1980 Olympic hockey team.
All right, start from the top. Jim Craig, that's the goalie. He makes his very distinct ending for his G. There's all kinds of evidence, and this thing is absolutely authentic.
Expert says that the item is authentic, so the negotiations started.
Like $2,000 on it?
It was a 4 and we got a deal.
No.
Not only no, hell no.
Thanks. Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
The Byzantine Empire books from an antique store a while back was actually inside the spine.
Now, in 300-something, moved the capital of the Roman Empire, Constantinople. Backbone of their economy was coins like this. They are recognized all over the world. You have Christ seated at a throne. They depicted Christ there as more of a king than as a martyr.
After lots of discussion, finally the negotiations started.
How much you want for it?
1900.
It's not as big as you would think. Probably right around 1100, I'm thinking. You see how thin the coin is?
Yes.
I'll give you like $800 for it.
Nah, that's a little bit too low. You know,
the condition's not great.
16?
I'll go $1,100.
Yeah, I guess we can do 11.
Normally, I'd call my coin guy on something like this, but my gut told me just pull the trigger and buy it.
Rick closed the deal on $1,100. Then he brings this coin to an expert.
Here's the coin.
It's fantastic. This interesting cup shape that it has was introduced under Constantine IX. He's on the reverse. Jesus Christ is on the obverse, the front. I have a comparison coin here for you. And this coin is as flat as a pancake. This one is like a shot glass. Well, this coin is not dated any more specifically than the reign of Constantine IX. So sometime between 1042 and 1055 AD.
Rick asked expert to estimate its worth.
What's it worth?
1,000 years old, very close to it. It's gold. Are not always worth what people might think they are, for between $700 and $1,000 in this condition.
I was just thinking it would be more. I mean, it's a gold coin that's almost 1,000 years old.
Is terribly undervalued.
All right, not the news I was exactly looking for. Lesson learned. I'll call you next time.
Yeah, call me first.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
I always say that a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. And I didn't know nearly as much about Byzantine coins as I thought I did.
Let's move to next deal.
So what do we got in the box?
It is a prototype for the unreleased Kenner starting lineup Andre Agassi action figure.
There was actual tennis action figures?
They never came out.
Owner shares more details about it.
This figure is one of 2 known to exist. These were supposed to be destroyed after Kenner failed to lock down the license very close to production. And I found this in the basement of an ex-Kenner employee. I'm hoping to get $10,000 from my Andre Agassi prototype action figure.
Rick also shares more details about it.
Been playing tennis since he was like 2 years old. He would joke around and say he's an 8th grade dropout because, you know, by the 8th grade, that's all he did was play tennis. But in the 90s, I mean, he was unbelievable.
Rick asks some questions to owner.
So he was the flagship player for the intended Kenner starting lineup tennis line.
You can tell it's probably a prototype.
Absolutely. It's a test of the molds, and the color was irrelevant. You know, he would not have had clear legs when they produced him.
You got a certificate of authenticity here. Apparently it's authenticated by a guy named...
After checking closely, Rick asks owner for an offer.
I'm asking $10,000.
So I got my toy guy. I'll get his opinion on it.
Okay.
All right. And I'll be right back.
After hearing the price, Rick calls an expert for better advice.
So this specific item is believed to have been intended for what was called Timeless Legends. And that line was really cool because it did a lot of like secondary sports. And this is pretty unique.
Expert shares more details about it.
It looks like what I would expect one of these test shot or first shot prototypes to look like. You can see that the different colors of plastic that they use, that's done intentionally so they can identify quickly what they wanted to make changes on.
So what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you first, CIB is highly respected in the industry. They're the authority as far as authenticating toys, especially when it's something like an item like this that might be a one-off. And based on that, $1,200 is what I'd look to get for it.
My big time offer is $600.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that today.
Hey, if you change your mind, come back and see me.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
All right, so what do we got here?
Well, we got my mom's car. We've had it since it was new.
So your mom drove around in this?
She sure did.
The owner wants to sell his 1970 Chevy Impala.
I called the guys down at the pawn shop to come down and take a look at my 1970 Chevy Impala. The reason I want to sell the car is because we don't really need it. I haven't totally convinced my wife we should sell the car.
Rick asks some questions to owner about his 1970 Chevy Impala.
People love these cars.
Do you want to open the hood?
Okay.
Damn, you got a lot of chrome under there.
Yeah, I've got everything chromed that can be.
Rick looks impressed with car condition and appreciate owner for having this beauty.
It also sounds good.
Sounds wonderful under the hood. Whoever did it right.
Rick and Corey notice that the interior of the car looks modified, so we ask owner about that.
Now, is this the original interior?
No.
I don't mean to sound like a d***ly, but your interior is shot in this car. It's gonna have to be redone. What are we asking for this car?
Well, I've got it, a figure in my mind of $21,000.
I'm thinking this is maybe a $5,000 car. I'm even pulling back the $5,000 offer. I'm gonna offer you $4,000.
I don't think I can accept your offer, gracious as it is.
Unfortunately, due to low bowl appraisal, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a man brings rarest painting to pawn shop.
Claude Monet painting.
Where in the hell did you get this?
Collateral for a loan. No, actually, he took the money, went in the hospital, and died.
Do you have a date or anything else like that when it was done, when it was painted? Is there a title to it? It was just...
I don't.
He started arguably one of the biggest art movements ever, the Impressionist movement. Impressionism is named after his painting Impression Sunrise. That's why his paintings are worth so much money.
Rick knows the painting, so he shares more details about it.
They were a little bit blurry. That's Impressionism. But you could still see detail, and that's why they go for millions.
The insurance policy for that painting displayed at the Las Vegas Museum of Fine Arts.
May 1st, 1965. Our findings as follows. The painting is solidly constructed, casual canvas, a typical Claude Monet from his early period.
Rick calls an expert to check its authenticity.
I'm not qualified to say if this is real or not. Let me get a friend down here.
When you think of fine art masters, Monet's right up there near the top of the heap. Important artistic movement of the last 200 years of Monet's brushstrokes. Impressionists were all about, as the name would indicate, he usually had some texture in his pieces, and this, again, there's very little of that. The way that they were able to configure and juxtapose started painting very early, so what's early period? It doesn't really tell you a whole lot. He also was known for having a very, vibrant palette. All of the master works that you see, if it's authentic, this could be a $5 million piece. I'd like to get a second opinion, and just because there's a few red flags that I see, he may not see it that way.
Painting is so real that expert needs second opinion for this item. Expert comes and shares more details about it.
The man that I go to in our gallery when we have masterpieces come through just to verify authenticity.
Before to look at the name, you look at the technique. It will be a very important Monet because the size. He is a painter from the outdoors, from the landscapes. Monet is known for that quality. See cracks in the painting, absolutely not one crack. That's interesting. Monet will have showed this with shadows. This will be much more pronounced. This is too flat. If we look on the back of this painting, at the texture, the canvas, you will have all the oil paint sweating through the canvas. Here you don't see that. 150 years old.
Rick asked, is this painting real or not? Let's see what expert says.
So is it real?
Not real.
Not real.
Ugh.
Expert confirms that this painting is not real, so no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a man brings silver vinaigrette boxes to pawn shop.
I'm looking to sell the vinaigrettes today because my daughter's getting married. I could use the money to help with her wedding that I inherited from my mother when she passed. And these are called vinaigrettes.
Rick takes a closer look of the item. Let's see it's real or not.
See, this was Birmingham. I know it's Birmingham because it has an anchor mark on it, okay? This one is really great marks. This one's 1850.
After checking the item closely, Rick confirms that the item is authentic, so Rick started with low ball offer.
These are just your basic corner jewelry store type thing. They're from Birmingham. I'd give you like $700 for them.
We're pretty far apart. Give me 3.
3,000? No. I mean, 700's round to it. I mean, the problem is they're not the right makers.
If we're that far apart, I think rather than, I'll give them to my daughter.
Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
And unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a woman walks to pawn shop to sell rare Colima pottery duck.
What do we have?
Pottery duck from Colima, Mexico.
All right, Bob, you know anything about ducks from Colima, Mexico?
A little bit. You liked rubber duckies when you were a kid. He had a blast with them.
Seller shares some abnormal things about this Colima pottery duck.
I got the duck from antique shop in Scottsdale, Arizona. Ever since then, weird things happening around the house, falling around the duck. So that's why I'm looking to sell it. I'm asking $4,000 for the duck. It does have magic powers.
Rick looks curious about the item, so he asks some questions to owner about it.
Still see, was in a kiln, went into a kiln like this, and it came out with those beautiful finishes on it. I mean, that's how beautiful they did it. How much are you looking to get out of this?
About $4,000.
It could be very, very old. Incredible condition, which is kind of scary.
Any place you go in Mexico, there's like counterfeit versions of stuff like this.
I'd like something to look at.
Rick is not sure about its authenticity, so he calls an expert for better advice. Expert comes and shares more details about it.
What's up, Bob? How you doing?
That is quite the duck. 2,000 years ago, they made animals go into a tomb, and they'd lay the body, place these animals around. All of the animals they would put in the tomb had a function. Most of them were to be eaten in the afterlife, and this form, very rare.
So what's it worth?
It's stunning. 8,000.
Okay.
You're not going to whip out your x-ray machine or anything on it?
It's got all the signs you want to see.
Expert estimates it's worth around $8,000. Then Rick started negotiation with the owner.
So you want $4,000 for it? Okay, I mean, I give you $4 because it does take a long time to sell it.
Okay, awesome.
All right. And he's going to pay her in $100 bills.
That was one of the quick negotiations from the Rick. Both looks happy after that deal. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, Rick, Chum, and Corey reach to the location, and everyone is excited to see the tank.
So I'm in the middle of the desert in search of a tank for the shop's lot. Apparently, there's an authentic Sherman tank for sale.
So, are we close? Almost there. That's it right there. That's the Sherman.
Rick and Chum takes a closer look, then owner shares more details about the tank.
Holy
The tank the guys are looking at right now is an M4A3 Sherman. It's the only Sherman tank in private hands that was actually used in the Pacific Theater. Real Marines jumped into during Iwo Jima. It was finally taken out of service when they hit the turret at the turret bearing. We met the gentleman who had to back it out, still alive today.
When they raised the flag on Mount Apache, I mean, it's probably the most iconic photo of all of World War II.
Owner confirms that this tank is in working condition.
Well, guys, there's a major problem with this tank. It's made out of wood.
You know what that's for? The Japanese had magnetic mines, sticky mines, that they would run up and stick to the side of a tank. Marines had to improvise and put wood paneling on the side to protect themselves.
And everything works inside?
Everything works.
Rick asked for an offer.
How much you want for this thing?
I'm looking to get $1.5 million.
But we get to drive it?
You can drive it and you can shoot it.
The guy's asking $1.5 million. That kind of money, I'm thinking about it. But before I do anything, I'm going to have to fire it.
Now it's time to see some demo.
That was amazing! Nice job, Rick.
Rick is impressed with tank condition, and he also takes expert opinion on it.
What do you think, Alex?
Speaks for itself. Shermans are the most desired American tank from World War II. Fires well. One that we know of that sold in the last year that wasn't documented to be at any major battle was sold for $1.2 million. So at $1.5 million, I think that's a fair price.
Expert confirms that $1.5 million is fair price for this. Let's see, will Rick make a deal or not?
It's amazing. It's got amazing history. Everything about it, it's absolutely great. But it's so out of the ballpark for me. But I really, really appreciate the day. It's been an unbelievable day. Thanks, man. Amazing day.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
I got a couple of Scottish blades here, handed down from me from my dad. My grandfather was overseas around World War II, and he had bought these over there.
So do you know anything about these?
Called the Dirk, and this is the Dagger, around the 18th century. Well, I'd like to sell them, $4,000.
Owner wants $4,000 for it, so Rick asked more details about it.
They put a photo negative above the blade. They put some chemicals on the blade. They blast some light on it. The acid reacts with the light and zap, it's there. This is a reproduction. This is not silver. This is really poorly sandcasted all along here. This is photo etching along here. This one I'm confident is not worth anything.
That really sucks.
This, on the other hand, looks real. It's definitely silver. That's a lot of work right there. It looks like it's a modern cut stone. And the hallmarks are going to tell us where it's made, who it's made by, what year it's made. Call in an expert, have them check it out.
Sounds good.
Rick is not sure about its authenticity, so he calls an expert for better advice.
I'm an expert in knives and militaria. Journey that these items have been on. Absolutely amazing to me. So what are your concerns about it?
I can't read the hallmarks on the back, and this is a modern cut stone on the top of it.
This is called a cairngorn. Common for these stones to fall out and be replaced. Made in Scotland, has the Scottish thistle mark on it, was 1900. Proper form of a Scottish dagger. The end of the handle here was actually intentional. They would slip this into their sock, this would protrude, allowing them to easily grab the dagger. Outwardly facing design, smooth on the backside where it would be against the skin.
Rick asked expert to estimate its worth.
So what do you think something like this is worth?
$800 to $1,200.
Now that Jeff has confirmed this dagger is 100% real, I definitely want it. What do you want for it?
Maybe 6.
I give you like $400 for it.
That's just too low.
I'll go $500.
$500? We'll do.
And finally, the deal ends on $500. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, Chum comes with a brilliant lottery ticket idea, and he shares the idea with Rick, Corey, and Old Man. Let's see what happened next.
Guys, the lottery's at $100 million right now.
It's a losing proposition.
$100 million. Maybe you guys should get some money together.
You got a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
After hearing the lottery ticket idea from the Chum, Corey decides to bring some lottery ticket for him. Let's see what happened next.
I know how you like these. I picked you up a scratch card, dude.
Oh, sweet. All right, I'm feeling lucky. All right, I got a 10,000 and a 50. Holy 10,000. It's 10,000 bucks. 10,000. I don't need to work anymore. I'm rich.
We can see the Chum's excitement after scratching the 10,000 lottery ticket.
Talk about dumb luck. You guys all realize the lottery ticket's fake.
Why would you do that?
Dude, they sell them in party stores all the time.
Corey literally give fake lottery ticket to Chum. Rick, an old man, looks not happy after hearing this. Corey calls him immediately to bring him pawn shop.
Chum, it's Corey, man. Give me a call as soon as you can.
He's going to spend a bunch of this money.
I tricked Chum into thinking he won $10,000 on a scratcher ticket. I'm starting to get worried that he's going to go nuts and max out his credit card. All right, hold on. Chum just texted me. Call you back in 20 minutes. Just buying a ticket to the Cayman Islands.
Rick knows Chum can buy anything with the credit card, so he says Corey to tell Chum truth.
Ticket's fake? I freaking quit work and I bought a ticket to the Cayman Islands.
I wish, buddy, man. The ticket was just a joke. It was one of those gagged lottery tickets. I'm sorry, Chum.
Why would you do this to me?
Just come back to work.
All right, I'm on my way.
Corey feels bad after hearing Chum's voice. Then Chum returns to shop.
Pay you back for it.
Come on, Big Hoss. I knew that ticket was fake. I get those all the time. The ticket? You think your little fake lottery ticket fooled me? I hand those out to people. They're funny.
So what have you been doing all day?
Taking a day off, having a green smoothie.
Chum takes revenge by taking day off. Well, he deserved that. Let's move to next deal.
How can I help you?
Poetry here, written by Jimi Hendrix.
You're saying Jimmy did this?
Yes, sir.
This man brings Jimi Hendrix poetry to pawn shop.
So how'd you get this?
I started working with a relative of Jimmy. I became part of the family with them, and so they gave me this poetry. It's just such a rare piece. I'd rather be in a museum.
People remember him for playing the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock with his teeth. He was a true artist. He made a guitar sound different than anything before. Greatest rock guitar player of all time. This thing could be worth a fortune.
Rick noticed something unusual and asks some questions to owner.
So what does this say?
Within I grace thee with wings, O lovely and true, birds of heavenly snow and crystals. Fly, my love, as you have before. Pleasures and only steps, and this just one more. 1969.
This is in awfully good shape.
Did you have anything specific to this saying that it's real?
No paperwork from being authenticated.
I'll have someone check it out.
Rick is not sure about its exact worth, so he calls an expert who estimates its worth.
I'm through with authentic autographs.
This is what we got.
If it's authentic, it's going to be very expensive. Jimi Hendrix's signature is one of the most valuable rock and roll signatures there is. Well, this definitely sounds like the type of lyrics that he would write. You know, it's very esoteric, a felt tip pen. Almost all the poems or lyrics I've seen of him has been done with a ballpoint pen. The capital I has a very wiggly line for the top bar. It's not something I've seen before, and the S are just slightly different than what I'm used to seeing. The handwriting is about the same size as the signature. He would always write in cursive. I've seen a lot of different problems with it, and I can guarantee you that this is 100% not authentic.
After careful checking and lots of experience, expert confirms that this item is not real.
I doubt your opinion.
I'm very sorry to tell you that. Thank you, Rick, for calling me in. Corey, good seeing you again, brother.
Appreciate it.
I know what it's meant to me all these years, and
Nothing I can do with it. Well, thanks for bringing it in.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a lady brings Tiffany antique watch to pawn shop.
Very old Tiffany clock.
It's Tiffany & Company.
It is a Tiffany.
Owner shares more details about it.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell a Tiffany wall clock. I know that it's quite rare and it's a one-of-a-kind piece because it has some pretty unique paintings on it. I'd like to get just around $8,000 for it.
Rick asked expert to share more details about the clock.
Probably done around the 1800s. I think is really unique about it is that it has all these reverse paintings on it. So what I've been told is that, you know, the artist had to actually paint it backwards in order for you to view it forwards.
Okay, do you mind if I look at this thing a little bit more?
No, that's okay.
Rick takes a closer look of the item and found something written on it.
That is a clockmaker's repair. They have this weird little script and everything like that, so next time they work on it, they know what they did.
Rick asks for an offer.
I'm looking for $8,000.
Okay, so I will give you like $1,200.
I would be more inclined around the 4 or 5.
They just don't go for that.
Right.
I'd go 13. Or are we just too far apart?
I think we're too far apart.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal.
Got a Marilyn Monroe signed picture.
Ellen probably connected with normal people because she came from a pretty humble background.
Corey asked more questions to owner.
You ever had this checked out?
I have. 4 experts looked at it about 10 years ago.
It was a good thing she was known for her acting and not her poetry. Have you got any paperwork with it?
I don't have any paperwork.
Corey calls an expert for better advice.
You could see how her M moves so flowing right into her signature. That's usually how she always signed her name. And that's what we're looking at here. Instantly know they're secretarial.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, pleasure to see you.
I wish it were real, man. I mean, we'd both make a lot of money, but there's really nothing I can do with it.
Very much appreciate your time.
Have a nice day, man.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, no deal was made, but Corey learns a lesson that calling an expert its best decision. Let's move to next deal.
I've got a 1999 St. Louis Rams Lombardi Trophy. Original box and certificate of authenticity.
This man brings a 1999 Vince Lombard trophy to pawn shop and share more details about it.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell an actual Lombardi trophy from the St. Louis Rams, 1999. I'm looking to get about $7,500 for the trophy. I'd probably take about $4,500.
Rick thinks that this item could be replica, so he asks some questions to owner.
Well, it's actually a replica because the real Vince Lombardi trophy is bigger and they make one of those. The Vince Lombardi trophy has been awarded to every team that's won the Super Bowl since 1970. They made 400 of these, huh?
Yes.
And I can just tell by the weight looking at it, it's not sterling silver like the Vince Lombardi trophy.
No, it's not. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's very rare.
Well, it's not really rare. There are 400 of them.
Rick asks owner for an offer.
So what do you want to do with this?
I'd like to sell it.
How much do you want for it?
I'd like to get about $7,500 for it.
I would love to have it. It's a really cool piece, but I would pay $2,500 for it.
We're too far apart.
Okay.
But I'll let you hoist it, though, even though you're not going to buy it.
All right,
In this episode, a man brings a letter signed by Napoleon. Let's see what happened next.
Did you get this?
Online.
Okay, it seems like it's from a pretty legit company. This is the type of seal they used back then. What do you want for it?
Corey asked for an offer.
Well, you know I'm gonna say like 10 grand.
I'm gonna have to get this reframed. There's gonna be work involved. Remember, this guy was the emperor of pretty much Europe. He probably signed a lot of stuff in his life.
Ooh, that sounds low. How about 5?
I'll give you $2,000 for it, man. That's the best I can do.
I didn't pay that much for it, so let's do it.
2,000?
2,000.
All right.
And finally, the deal closed on $2,000. Then Corey showed this to Rick, an old man.
The Napoleon?
Yep.
That's freaking sweet. Hey, man, it's your lucky day.
Have you had it checked out by anybody?
No, it looked right to me.
What did you pay for it, Corey?
$2,000?
You just bought it?
I'm not going to sell something like this to someone for 12 grand, not know for sure it's real.
Corey brings this item to an expert to check its authenticity.
This is it, man. It's supposed to be an original document signed by Napoleon.
Made on the battlefield, because then he would have sent these all over Europe to try and explain to people what had happened.
Expert takes a closer look of the item and share more details about it.
We've done everything necessary to assure the happiness and the prosperity of our country. Then I will take you back to France. Allah un brave. There goes a brave man.
Expert shares more details about it, but Corey still waits to hear, is this item real or not? Let's see what happened next.
The thing is, this is not one of those original manuscript copies. What we've got here is very clearly a replica we consider to be the original, which looks exactly like this. Can't say that this is worth very much.
Expert confirms that this item is not real. Corey looks shocked and back to pawn shop.
We don't sell fake stuff here. Take the blow and move on.
Corey, why don't you take it home and remind yourself not to be so damn stupid. Dumb kid.
Let's move to next deal.
What can I do for you?
Well, I've got this 1950 Martin Tipple.
Pretty cool. I think it's pronounced T-play, but it does say tipple. I don't know.
This man brings rare guitar to pawn shop. Chum takes a closer look at the item and asks some questions to owner about it.
At first glance, it doesn't look in horrible condition. It's got some normal scratches and wears and tears on it. It's been dinged up pretty bad right here, but that shouldn't affect the sound quality. But it looks like it's in good condition.
After taking closer look at the item, Chum asks for an offer.
And how much are you looking to get?
Well, I think it's worth, realistically, maybe around $2,500.
I do know these things are very rare. They're very hard to sell, but it's a Martin.
Chum is not sure about its authenticity, so he calls an expert for better advice.
These originated in South America and migrated to North America in the 20s during the ukulele craze. I mean, Martin, what can you say? They're one of the most iconic acoustic guitar companies on the face of the earth. Been around since pre-Civil War. Well, yeah, these are great.
Expert takes a closer look of the guitar.
Take a look at it.
Okay.
You can hear it's pretty loud. It's got a lot of projection for a little body. It's got a lot of sound.
Chum asks expert to evaluate its worth.
What kind of value does this have?
They're very rare. Well, in the condition it's in, looking at it right now, I'd give it around $2,000.
Expert estimates its worth around $2,000. Then the negotiations started.
Top dollar I'm going to be willing to pay for this is going to be $1,100.
I don't know, 14?
It's a really niche instrument. 11's going to be my max. It really is.
Yeah, I think we're just too far apart. I appreciate you looking at it for me.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Unfortunately, no deal was made. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a lady brings antique pocket watch to pawn shop.
I have a watch here.
Okay, it's an old watch.
I hope so.
Where did you get it?
A garage sale.
Mind me asking what you paid for it?
$20. If I get $500, I'll be happy.
Do you know much about it?
I just discovered it and it looked cool.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it. William Ellery.
Rick share more details about the watch.
Earl Butler Hero saved my life at Cross Keys.
Something good?
That's the Civil War. 1880s, pretty easy to date them. It's a key wind and a key set. Increased the cool factor by like 10 times. This actually belonged to a Civil War veteran. One of the greatest gifts you could give in the 19th century was a pocket watch. I have never seen anything like it.
After taking closer look at the watch, Rick confirms that this watch is in working condition.
It's working?
That's positive, right?
In amazing shape. It works great. These things are notorious for cracking. Huge market for Civil War stuff. Could be worth a fortune. I'd really like to find out who these people are. Important people from the battle. I'd like to find out more about the battle.
Great.
I'll be right back.
Thanks.
Rick is not sure about its exact worth, so he calls an expert who estimates its worth.
Battle of Cross Keys is an interesting one. This was Stonewall Jackson, best-known generals on the southern side.
Able to find out anything about those names?
They don't show up in the historic record that I could find.
I mean, the watch is really cool. Do you think it's legit?
Rick asks expert about the watch legitimacy. Let's see what experts say.
Oh, yeah. Time period would be the late 1880s. In looking at it, this appears to be correct to me. Hopefully that helps.
Thank
you very much.
What do you want for it?
$2,000.
$700.
$1,800.
Let me give you $1,000 for it.
I'll make a profit either way. How about 15?
I'll go 1,300.
13 will work.
And finally, the deal closed on $1,300. That was a good deal. Let's move to next deal. In this episode, a man brings shrunken head to pawn shop. Let's see what happened next.
Shrunken head, man.
Okay. There was these tribes in the Amazon. They figured out a way to shrink people's heads. The whole purpose behind it, I guess, was to show what a tough guy you were. I mean, it looks real. It's really hard to come across an actual shrunken head. So what are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get somewhere around $5,000 for it.
Tell you what, do you mind if I do a video chat real quick with a buddy of mine and have him take a look at this?
That would be great.
Corey is not sure about its authenticity, so he calls an expert for better advice.
I have what looks like a shrunken head here.
Shrunken heads have been around for a long time. Most of them come from Ecuador. These are warriors. They've taken a head in battle. Remove the face off of the skull, and then it's heated with hot sand, which the heat will cause that skin to shrink. If you're a really good head shrinker, you can get a head that's about the size of an orange.
Can you give me an idea on how to tell if this is real or not?
The tribes that were making them discovered that if they sold them to tourists, they could make a lot of money. We look at the ears.
I got no ear holes.
Look inside the nostril.
No nostril.
I think we got a fake here.
Give me an idea of what something like this is worth.
10 grand for it. As a tourist piece, I'd say it's worth 200 bucks.
Clearly it's not real.
Man.
Rick only offers him $200 for it. Let's see will owner accept his offer or not.
$200. It just really reminds me of a buddy of mine, and I kind of want it for myself.
For 200 bucks, it's worth bringing back and putting on the shelf.
You do 300?
No, man. I want to bring it back home, put it back up on the shelf, and enjoy it for a few more years.
And unfortunately, no deal was made. That's for today. See you soon in next video. Till then, watch these two amazing Pawn Stars video.